Thursday, August 21st, 7:57 p.m. New York time. Welcome back, investors, to Winning Wall Street's Money. Going to discuss the Magnificent Seven stocks. Look at the weekly chart of each one. Since they are part of the NASDAQ 100, we'll look at the NASDAQ 100 as well, too. We'll look at a 5-year chart, year-to-date performance, identify the NASDAQ 100, if it's outperforming all the Magnificent Seven stocks. If not, then which one's performing better? Who's in the leadership role? We're in the summer. Yeah, already halfway through the year. 2 earnings quarters already passed. That's good data for the year to understand what's the performance year to date. And plus the weekly candle to identify the momentum, the trend currently. Magnificent Seven are largely weighted averages, the largest weighted averages in many of the stock indexes. Their price action has a big factor on the stock indexes. Yep, they're not all equal. So here we are looking at the NASDAQ 100. The prior week was the all-time high, the top yellow horizontal line. And here on the far right, the bottom, near the bottom here, yeah, it was the low of the year. So big difference, big trading range. And here, these orange horizontal lines, that's a gap. That's a bit concerning. You haven't tested it, nor have we yet filled it yet. And here was a big impulse move up. Let me zoom in. That was a big impulse move up. Strong candle. Hasn't been tested much other than here. So currently for the week, we're red, lower high, lower low. This is a trend reversal. And this candle, red candle, will close 4 p.m. Friday. A lot can happen between then and now. But again, currently we have done a reversal. The momentum is down. There's more sellers than buyers on the NASDAQ 100. Let's go in order to the Magnificent Seven. Again, 5-year chart, each candle is a week. Right off the bat, here's Apple. It's below the high of last year. It's underperforming the NASDAQ 100. It's also below the high of this year. Yeah, again, it's underperforming. Amazon, here's a high this year. And for the week, inside candle, there's a gap down here. This orange vertical line is when it was added to the Dow Jones. So it's in several indexes. Let me zoom in and show you what's going on here too. So here's a high of the year, this yellow horizontal line. This blue horizontal line, that's a swing point with a trend reversed. And this inside candle is hollow. Sorry, this inside candle is solid, equivalent to a red candle. But the bigger situation here, as I'm seeing, we have a consolidation. The consolidation, the label from here, and the week's not done yet. So this big consolidation, when we break out of it, determining what kind of candle breaks out of it, that would help me determine the strength in the next trend. So again, huge consolidation here. It hasn't broken out of it. What it did was have this big red candle. See how it was up on the side, the trend and the reversal. But again, big candle has not been retested 100% on top. That's concerning. We might see a impulse move down, break out some point in time. To come down here, filled here. Time will tell. That's Amazon. Alphabet, aka Google. Here's a high for the year. Currently red for the week. Already made a trend reversal. Lower high, lower low. Nope, no big gaps here, I realize. Different on the daily, but we'll look at the weekly. Meta, aka Facebook, Instagram, WhatsApp. So last week made the all-time new high. So let me move this up. Do some housework, which is good. It's better performing than many of the other ones since it made all-time new high last week. And again this week, lower high, lower low. And here's a gap. Has not been tested yet. As well as that big impulse move up there, big impulse move up there. And we're in this key level right here. This is imbalance area. So again, you see there's been reversals this current week, and the reversals trending down. Microsoft, there was the all-time high right there. Made it reverse lower highs. Big red candle this week. Wow. And also this was a consolidation and post move out. Let me label that. There we go. Again, this was a consolidation, and the breakout was strong candle, but it hasn't been much of a retest. So I want to expect that maybe retest. Currently trending down. And NVIDIA. There was the high. Again, this orange vertical line is when it was added to the Dow Jones. Here's the low of the year. Again, the high of the year is right there. I drew a Fibonacci and currently the week, lower high, lower low. The trend is down to the reversal. Potential targets on the downside. Also, there's a gap there that has not been filled. Tesla, disappointing. Look, there's a high of last year. It's way below the high of that last year, below the high of this year. It's underperforming. This is a wedge, these white lines, that's a wedge. Inside it is building a coil. It broke out of the coil a few times, rejected it. Yeah, huge consolidation. Let me update this. And also, let's look at Netflix. Here's a high for the year. Here's a low for the year. It broke above and below last week. I know it's not part of the Magnificent Seven. It's what part of used to be Fang. So I just want to include that, show you that. And overall, you see the trend is bearish. Trend is down. Thank you as always, spending just a little time with me. That's it for the video. Thank you for watching.